Hi everybody, I'm Wendy Darling Good. I am from the North Little Rock Athletic Club here at Little Rock Athletic Club Bar Room to do Pilates Fusion. So I'll kind of be looking at two different cameras. Welcome. I'm going to start off the mat with a warm-up. What we're going to do is we're going to have our feet hip-width apart, belly in to the back. So right here, our pelvis is forwards, our tailbone is down. And we're thinking about our alignment from our heel to soft knees. Tilt the pelvis, release the pelvis. See how I'm kind of turned in there? I'm going to tilt the pelvis, lift with my abdominal muscles right by my hip bones here. My belly is pulled into that little dip of the back. And my shoulder blades are pulled down towards my heart. So I'm not in my neck. And I am not rounded either. So think about closing your eyes, growing tall, pulling the belly in, and feel where you're at in space. Again, my name's Wendy Darling Good at North Little Rock Athletic Club is where I'm from, teaching Pilates Fusion. Just joining us. I'm a level 3 mat Pilates instructor by Balance Body and a certified booty bar instructor. Now that your alignment is all in place, we're going to roll through the spine, lift the crown of our head, dive into our pool. We're not sticking our booty back, rolling down, keeping the knees soft. Pressing through the heels, pelvic tilt, pull the shoulder blades back as you inhale and lift up through the back of the legs. Reach the crown of the head, dive into that pool again. You're taking the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Press the heels, roll up one vertebrae at a time. And one more time. Inhale, take it down. Pelvic tilt, exhale, bend the knees, power through the back of the legs, and up. Feel free to come into parallel or into a little pizza slice. I'm going to take my left leg, I'm going to take the body back into a lunge and bring it up. Feel free to be on your mat. I don't. My knee is in line with the ankle as I come up. Inhale, press to the heel, use the glutes, use the back of the legs, think nice and tall, shoulders over hips. Just taking it back, press to the heel, lift out of the floor, right here at the booty. We're going to do one more and hold it there. We're going to reach. You're going to rotate your rib cage to the right corner, to the left corner for you. Bring it back, take it away from your screen. Take your right rib cage, rotate it towards me, keeping your hips forwards, and then bring it back, rotation. Inhale, press to the heel, keep the knee in line with the ankle. It's not jetted forward, putting pressure on that knee. We're going to take a little faster, left and right, to the screen, away from the screen. Inhale, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press to the heel, think nice and tall as you come up. You're going to switch sides, take that lunge back, press to the heel, back of the leg. Take it back, hands on the hip bones, think nice and tall. Press to the heel, tap. Inner thighs help lift you up. Spine is nice and tall. Belly in, tailbone down. Holding a few more of these. Inhale and exhale. 2 more. I can't count. It's instructor prerogative. And we're going to hold this one back, and we're going to reach away from that back heel. Lengthen the spine through the crown of the head. Open up the chest. Take the arms behind. Feel a nice chest stretch. Scoop. Press to that front heel through the back of the legs. Reach. We're going to do one more. Press to the heel, lift up tall, use that belly muscle, and now we're gonna reverse it. Take it back, reach, hinge forwards, round like a cat. Taking your heart behind, not your neck. Shoulder blades are down. Reach. And inhale, exhale, lift up and over that ball. Press to the heel. You're gonna lift on up, face me. We're gonna take a plie to the right. And then bring it in, take it left, down, in. Hands on the hip bones. Your knees and toes are to the corner of the room. Power through the inside of the legs. Down and in, down and in. You don't have to follow the music. You can go a little faster. You can go a little slower. Down. One more each side. Take it this direction. Bring it back. We're going to take it back to the right. Hold it here. Hinge at the hips. So I'm going to turn. You're going to pitch the body forwards. Tilt the pelvis to stretch out those lower back, and you're going to lift. Ears by the biceps. Shoulder blades are pulled back. You're relaxing that neck. Belly is strong. Reach through the fingers. Pulling the shoulder blades down. And then we're going to add a whole lift. Lift. Press the knees back to the pinky toe to engage the glutes and outer thighs. Breathe. And 2. And 1. Take it down. You can come right here for your modification. Shoulder blades are back. Stretch out those hamstrings. And then bring it back. I'm going to come back forwards to you. Stretch. And down. Press through the heels. Lift through the belly. And then you're going to give yourself a hug. You can come all the way down. Touch wherever your hands lay. Head is down. Roll up through the spine. Somebody punched you in the gut as you roll up. Bend the knees. You do not have to be very wide. Knees in line with the ankle. You're going to take side lunge to the right. Reach. Use that left oblique. Bring it back. Side lunge to the left. Bring it up. Press to the heel. Lift with the inner thigh. Take it over. Scoop and lift. Shoulder blades reach to a letter T. If you have shoulder problems, just come right here and scoop. One more each side. Press to the heel. Lift with the hamstrings and glutes. Inhale. Very good, guys. Let's walk the feet. Rotate from the shoulder socket, hip socket. I'm going to mess up. I'm human. So angle your mat to where you can see me. Your head is towards the screen. We're going to walk down. Feet hip width apart. Inhale. Dive into your pool. Pull the belly in. Your front hand is going to come down. Soften the knees if you need to. Walk out to plank position. Wrist in line with the elbows. So they're not forwards here. Roll the shoulder blade back. The hand follows. Now use the belly to inhale. Lift back up. Press to the heels. Roll up through the spine. Inhale. Dive into your pool. Keep the knees soft. Your back hand is going to come out. Again, using your what I call the push-up muscle right underneath those shoulder bones. Push-up muscle. Bend the knees and roll up. Inhale. Reach up and over. Soften the knees. Pull that belly in towards the back. Press away. Use that push-up muscle. The abs follow. The legs grab in the back of the legs. And we're going to come all the way down after that. Inhale, reach up and over. Backhand. And you're going to hold right here. Drop the knees. One of my favorite instructors over at North Little Rock, she says, don't crowd your spine. Pull the shoulder blade back. That's a credit to you, Lupe. And when you lock the shoulder blade in, focus on this muscle right around the rib cage, where for us girls, the bra wraps around. Hands are open, elbows are soft, shoulder blades are back. Tilt the pelvis, and you're going to round like a cat. Push your heart up towards the ceiling. Let the head hang. Look towards the pelvis. Bring it back down, flat back. Belly in, tilting the pelvis. You round. You should feel a stretch right here the whole time. That means the whole bottom half, that pelvis is working, holding like a bowl. Now kind of look away. Bring it back around like a cat. Push. Elbows are soft. There you go. Exhale, lift. Inhale down. Or you can reverse your breathing. That's the beauty of Pilates. Lift. And down. We're going to do one more. Again, push away back. Your heart lifts. Your chin can relax. and then bring it down. Now we're gonna swing our hips. You're gonna swing your hip towards me, towards your rib, without moving that back arm. Bring it back. I'm gonna turn here in a second, take it the other hip and back. So hip to rib, exhale and inhale. I'm gonna come forward so you can see what I'm doing. So take that front hip towards your rib cage, bring it back with the oblique. Other side. You're powered, you're lifted out of that floor. You're not just here like noodles. Breathe. Rotation, not a rotation, it's a hip to rib. I'm really goofy in class. Breathe a little faster. Side, side. Towards me, hip towards me. We're wagging the tail like a dog. Without moving that spine, your shoulder blades are stable. For 3, 2, and 1. Take it back into child's pose. Stretch, take the hands out. Pull on your mat. Shoulder blades back. While you're here for a quick second, I've got some optional props. If you have a Pilates ring or a playground ball, or a pillow, a square pillow that's about the size of your arms. So when they're straight out. You don't have to have anything. Pelvic tilt, pull the shoulder blades back around like a cat, keeping your shoulder blades down and roll up. Very good. We're gonna sweep our feet. Take your feet towards me. If you want your Pilates ring, your ball, have it close. You're gonna rock back and forth, what I call those sitting bones, those bleacher bones, when you're watching your kiddo in the stands of the bleachers. Feet can be together, hip width apart. Pelvic tilt. Tilt the pelvis. Inhale, lift back up onto those sitting bones. Tilt. And lift. So in that tilt, you should feel a stretch of the lower back, your pubic bone coming up to your chin, and lift. Down. Now your shoulders, are they here eating your ears? No, 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 no. Pull the shoulder blades down and just rock into that pelvis back and forth. Your inner thighs are stabilized. You're breathing. You can inhale slowly. And then exhale when you come up. That's the beauty of Pilates. Your breathing is controlled by you. Now we're gonna hold it. Again, make sure your props are with arm reach. If you have them, you don't have to have them. Keep the tilt of the pelvis. It's not the hip flexors. It's the muscles in between your hip bones. And you're gonna roll down a little bit. Inhale, lift up. I'm gonna switch to the other side. Just take it here, just stay right here. Hip bones are even to the mat. Power through the belly button, lift straight. You can round like a cat if you want, or you can have a flat back. Pull it up with the belly, not that lower back. It loves to take over. Inhale, take it down. Squeeze the inner thighs, whether they're together or not. That way your legs are stable. One more, we're gonna add the prop if you want. Feel free to stay right here. I'm gonna grab the Pilates ring, and for those that actually take my Pilates class with my favorite ball, the booty bar ball, but I'm gonna use the ring. Feel free to grab and the ball has a mind of its own. Press your hand into your ring if you have it, or into your pillow. Give it a good grab. Rely on your fingers, rely on your chest. Now I'm gonna come to the side here. I'm gonna pelvic tilt. Inhale, take it down, press. Lift up right here, not in those hip flexors, nice and tall. Squeeze those inner thighs, take it down. The hip flexors want to take over where the hip meets the body. That's your hip flexors. Lift up. I'm still keeping my pelvis tilted. Exhale, lift up, press into that pillow, or just squeeze your chest muscles together to keep your shoulder blades down. Now for me, I'm not a fan of this, but that's a good modification to stay with. I'm gonna just scoot up a little bit. I like to point my feet. You can flex your feet if you want. Round like a cat. Come down until where you're like, I can go a little bit further. Power up. Nice and tall. Inhale, take it down. Look through your pillow, your ring, or at your ball, or just in between your hands. It's helping just for focus. Take it down. Power up through here, not through the back. Lift up. Now I'm going round like a cat. I'm going to take it forwards towards my feet. I'm going to show the modification. Round. Hold. Inhale, lift up, reach your head through the ring or your pillow and bring it back where you're looking through it. Inhale, reach. Power through the abs. You're never letting them go. I'm taking my legs back out. Exhale, lift up, reach. Pull the shoulder blades back. Mine started sneaking up. Take it down to where you can control it, all right here. So it may not be very big, and that's perfectly fine. We all have a starting point, and we all want those abs to help strengthen the back. Reach. Inhale, take it back, and just give it a good hold for a second. Exhale, reach over. Now the thing is to keep your hip sockets down into the mat. Your pelvis is locked. Your inner thighs are holding. You're squeezing everything. I've got some people where when they roll down, their feet come up, and that's okay. You know who I'm talking about if you're watching. All right. One more, and we're going to hold it. Again, reach the crown of the head. Shoulder blades are back. Tailbone is still on the floor. I'm going to bring it back to that modification. Into that nice C curve. Tilt that pelvis. Pull the pubic bone up to your chin. You're going to lift the arm up and then take it down with the armpit muscle. Lift with the top of the shoulder blades. Armpit muscle presses down. That is connected to your push-up muscle. And down. So you're working your abs. You're working your breath. Also working your arms. But make sure you're not here kissing your shoulders to your chin. Inhale, lift. A little bit more advanced version right here. You can come further if you want. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Lift. And down. Top of the shoulder blades. Inhale. Hold the breath if you want. I'm quaking. What about you? We're going to do one more after this. Exhale. Beautiful. We're going to lift all the way up, reach back into our roll up, and while we're reaching there, we're going to set the ring down. I believe that's what I have on my list. No, we're not. Pick it back up. This is for my friend Sammy. She loves this. Shoulder blades are back again. You can come into your modification. We're going to rotate, sink that back hip bone to the mat. Rotate towards me. Bring it back. Squeeze those inner thighs. Keep the pelvis tilted. Again, you can be in this bent knee position. Also, if you have a pillow or a ball, you can be right here supporting it. Press your belly into that ball. I'm going to actually keep it there. Sorry, I didn't say that later. Or earlier, I should say. Lock that back hip down. Both hips are even. You're taking your rib cage towards me, keeping it all in the rib cage, not that hip. We're going to do one more, and you're going to rotate away from me. Inhale. Rotate away as that front hip stays down and in. Again, you can be right here. You can be uplifted a little bit more. Put a pillow, put a ball, if you got one of your kiddos' balls to put right there, perfectly fine. Or if you don't want anything at all, that's fine too. There's always a modification in Pilates and bar. Your wrists are in line with the shoulder blades. You're still pressing, feeling that chest. Inhale, keeping that front hip bone down, front rib cage follows that ring, that pillow, that ball. Now we're going to come back towards you. Come back towards me. You're going to roll down a little bit. Take that back shoulder blade down. Even right here. Inhale, lift back up and away from me. Use that front rib cage to help bring you down the abs in between the hip and the rib. And then lift back up. So you're making a little letter U. Great for people who have shoulder issues, who can't go overhead. You're powering right here and in the armpit. So make sure that that shoulder blade is down and lift back up. Inhale, take it down. Take that front shoulder away from me. Lift with that rib cage ab. Keep it pressing. I'm starting to grab. I admit it. Lift. And then take it down. Keeping both hip bones even. Lift. Doing a spine twist. Just checking the time. Taking it down. Lift with that pubic bone. Those abs right by the pubic bone. It's like a regular class. I messed up on what I say. Take it down. And lift. We're going to do one more towards you. Lift. Pull the shoulder blades back. Deepen those abs towards that ball if you have it there. Bring it back center. Lift up. Oh, that was a lot. Take that ring to the side. Yeah, we're done with it. I promise. Ball. If you have it, if you don't, that's okay too. Bring your feet together. We're going to do a little action. Put that ball or pillow underneath your knees. Squeeze the ball towards your glutes and your hamstrings so they're holding on. You don't have to have it at all if you don't have it. You're going to come up onto your tippy toes. Grab your thighs, your shins right here or your thighs as long as your shoulder blades down. This is the modification where you're going to roll down, touch your shoulders. Inhale. Now exhale, lift up, flat back. Round like a cat, extend your arms, pelvic tilt, lift that spine one vertebrae at a time. Exhale, lift up. A little bit more advanced version if you want to see a good laugh. This is going to be it. You kick off, mount the spine in with the abs, control, touch the shoulder blades, lift back up. Don't touch the floor. Pelvic tilt, lift, flat back. Inhale, take it down, touch the shoulder blades, lift back up. Trying to stay even on both sides of the spine, and it's not easy. Pelvic tilt, power through the belly. Inhale. Exhale, lift. We're going to do one more and hold it. Take it down. Hold it. Flat back. Pelvic tilt, shoulder blades are back. Right here if you want. This is harder. I'm shaking. 2, 1, take it down. Bring your stuff close if you have it. We're going to roll down. Hold the belly and pelvic tilt, just like we did that roll up and down. Come on down. Bend your back knee. I gesture a lot. Bend your front knee. I'm going to give a couple of options. Ball is close or your pillow. You're going to pelvic tilt, press to the heels. Use your hamstrings and glutes. Exhale, lift up into your bridge position. Sink your sternum into the mat. Somebody just punched you in the heart. They punched you in the gut. Push it down. Release the pelvis into a natural position. Pelvic tilt. Inhale. Exhale. You can put your hands on your pelvis if you want. If you're not pressing the hips up, you should be able to see your knees. Inhale. Take it down. We're going to do one more. Pelvic tilt. Lift on up. Looking at the ceiling. Your shoulder blades are down. And then take it down. Now I'm going to give you a couple options here. You can keep your hip bones down for option 1. I'm going to take that front leg out or it's bent. So I'm going to show the bent version first. Hands by the hips or letter T, palms down. Shoulder blades are into your bra line or towards your shoulder blades, to your hip sockets. I'm going to take that back leg up. Flex the foot, point the foot. Feel both hip bones into the mat. This is where I get into my class hands-on because this is a very difficult move to maintain your pelvis. And that's what Pilates is all about, maintaining your pelvis to support your spine and your abs. So what we're going to do, this is option 1, kind of get there. Option 2, if you want a little lift, grab that ball or pillow, put it underneath the 2 hip bones. So in between your 2 hip bones. Hands back down. Drum roll your hands because you have no weight in your wrist. Shoulder blades down. Taking that back leg up, just point and flex. A little more challenge, you press up, lift out of that ball. Final challenge, you press up, you extend the leg. Hands can be on the hip bones to make sure that foot never dips away from your hip line. You're gonna flex the foot, take it down. Press the heel, lift back up. You're gonna see my hips starting to drop. This is a very difficult move. You can be right here. Pelvis lifts the leg with the inner thigh. Reach to the heel as you take the crown of the head away from that heel. Belly, pelvis, shoulder blades. I'm gonna just keep doing the modification and then lifting up and down. Press to that front heel, lift. Your hip bones are even, so that way the foot does not disappear out of that line with the leg. Toe, knee, and hip are in line. You're gonna give me one more. Shoulder blades are back. Lift up. I'm gonna drop it. I'm starting to feel it. Take the leg away from the screen. Inner thigh brings it back in. Take it away. Bring it in. Now what's happening with your front leg? Is it dipping? Look at it. Give it a look. You can lift your head. Power through that side, that front side to me. And in. Yeah, I'm feeling this too. Inner thigh, front oblique stabilizes to keep that front hip bone down. And in, you're gonna give me one more. Inner thigh stabilize, open with that back oblique. Bring it in, bring your knee to chest. Give it a good stretch. Your outside leg could be, your front leg could be down. Use your abs, switch through the abs. Everything always comes from the core. I'm gonna extend my back leg. Again, you can have that ball underneath you. Point and flex. You can lift off that ball. I think this time I'm gonna demonstrate with the ball. If you're on the ball, right here. Now hold it here, reach to the heel, pull the shoulder blades back, take that leg down. Lift with the pelvis. Reach to the heel, inhale, bring it back up. So you can breathe in one action. You can cut your breathing into inhale and then exhale, lift. Now the thing with the ball is the hips like to rock. Tilt the pelvis, pull the belly in towards the mat. Press to that back heel, make sure that knee is not moving. You're gonna give me one more because I can't count. I'm too busy talking and trying to educate. Last time. Shoulder blades are down, relax the neck. It's a bigger muscle, it likes to take over. Now take that leg, that front leg towards me a little bit. And it's harder on the ball because it's that back leg is not moving out of that hip socket. So, as you can see, I'm not going as far compared to before where I'm on the floor. So it's all about your own hip opening. It's all about your stability. The foot, I started pointing. That's the natural dancer in me. Feel that back oblique stabilize, not that hip flexor. It's the pelvis, it's the pelvis. Take it out. My knee is starting to drop because I'm not squeezing that back glute. So squeeze that back glute. Bring it in, inner thighs. One more. Bring that knee to chest, good job. And if you're on that ball, you can actually extend the leg, but regardless if you're not on it, that's fine. Or on that pillow. Bring that knee in, that back knee with the abs, so that belly button and that pelvis. Take the leg down, and if you're on the ball, you press up, lift, grab the ball, just put it to the side. We're going to take our feet out, or you can keep them bent. Shoulder blades back. You're going to inhale, push the belly into the mat, shoulder blades are back, lift the head and shoulders up, and then you're going to roll all the way up. Ball or ring. I'm going to take the ring and I'm going to face you. Feet are hip width apart, flexed. Rock back and forth on those sitting bones. Again, the ball has a mind of its own. That's the way it is in my class. So I'm squeezing the ring or your pillow. If you have a pillow, just give it a good light grasp, but focus on your chest. Wrists in line with the shoulder blades. If you have a mirror, it's always good to have one. I'm looking in the side mirror over here. My shoulders are over my hips. So I'm not leaning back and I'm not rounded. I'm a flat back. Pelvic tilt, shoulder blades are back. I'm going to do a lot of turning in here, so just stay facing me. Squeeze the chest, tilt the pelvis. You're going to reach through, look down towards your thighs, keeping your hip bones down, and then lift flat back up. Again, take your nose towards your thighs, reach the crown of the head towards your screen. Pelvic tilt, lift with your back muscle, not the neck. So I'm going to switch to this side. That way I can actually see myself in the mirror, hinging at the hips. I'm not here. My hip bones start coming off. Lift with the back. Reach through the crown of the head. You're growing tall. Lift up and over a ball. So if the ball was right here, you're reaching over it. Okay, I've never done that before. I'm going to do that one more time. Reach. That ball is there keeping you from collapsing. Lift with the shoulder blades. Feel free to keep that ball there. Reach. Keep those hip bones down. Lift with your mid-upper back muscles. Flat back. Reach. Inhale, lift. Shoulder blades are down. I caught mine coming up. Reach. If you have shoulder joint issues, this is also great because your arms are not overhead. I'm keeping it in a modification. Hip bones are down. Squeeze that chest, regardless if you have a pillow or not. One more. Reach. Lift right here at that push-up muscle, right where the bra line is. Beautiful. You're going to hold it here. Pull the shoulder blades down. You're going to rotate towards me. Think that back hip. Rotate, spine twist. We've already done this, haven't we? Bring it here. Take it to the other side. Take your front rib cage to the back corner. Sinking both hip bones down. They're not moving because that's what happens. People move the hip to get further. It's not about getting further. It's about control. So I'm going to come towards you. So rotate towards me. Rotate towards me. If you are still on the side or you follow me. Let's take it over to the right or away from me. Nice and tall. Pull the belly in, pelvic tilt, rotation. Flex the feet, energy in the feet. Rib cage follows your pillow, your ring, your ball, whatever you're holding or nothing at all. Your rib cage follows that outside hand. So taking it to the left or towards me. I hope everybody's doing good. This is a first for me. I record myself a lot, but not like this. Breathe. Nice and tall, stay tall. Sink into that left hip. One more after this. I can't remember what side we start on. I start left, I start right. Shoulder blades are back, belly in. You're nice and flat. I'm looking at myself. Yay. Beautiful. Take it forward. Stretch. Now you can lift your hip bones off. Very nice. Just place that band. Sorry, I had a habit band. That ring. Flex your feet. Now let's say while you're stretching, you've got tight hamstrings. You can always put something underneath and you can bend and still work on that rotation because it's about the back and the shoulders connecting to the abs. You do not have to be perfectly flat. This is great for hamstring flexibility. So when you cycle through this again, you have that. So now we're going to sweep our feet back. Make sure you can see me. Even though I'm long ways, I actually do my Pilates training where I'm at an angle so where I can see. We're going to come all the way down. And however you get there, you flop down, that's great. If you want to chaturanga down like you do in yoga, oh, I actually did it. It's amazing. I'm going to flip around since my ball is in the way over here. So come on down. You can do a little mini push-up and drop down with those triceps. Now, elbows are not back or out. They're behind, and they're right by the shoulder blades. So they're not here, they're right by pressing your armpits into your sides. So taking it down, you're smelling your mat. That's what I tell my people. You're smelling your mat. Your hands are under your shoulder joint, and then you choose if you want them a little closer to your face or pulled back wherever you feel the stability in your shoulders, which is right underneath the bones, your scapula, that's your bone in your shoulder. Pulling it down, elbows tight to the waist, hands close to the shoulder joint. You're not pressing through the hands, you're using that back muscle, and lift a little bit, not with your neck. Take it down. Inhale, lift with the back muscle, and then take it down. Press away, there is no weight in the hands, and this is a very small and challenging move. Inhale, lift. I had to fling my pony around, my braid around. So while you continue to do that, it's right here in that bra line for us girls, okay? We want to make sure that we are right here pulling up with the bra. And that's right underneath the scapula bone where the rib cage starts to take over. Because what's in between your ribs and your hips? Your spine and your abs. So that's what we're trying to do. Support the spine by squeezing the elbows in, lifting with that back muscle to stretch and also work the back to support the abs. Inhale, lift, pull the belly in towards the ceiling. Your hip bones are on the mat. You're not rocking back and forth. Lift and down. Now I'm going to add a little flavor to it. I'm going to lift. Keep looking at that mat, apple or lemon in between your chin. I'm going to lift the glutes with the glutes and hamstrings. Inhale, lift. Keep the elbows tight because the higher you lift, the more they're going to flare out and you're going to get into those wrists. Pilates and bar are based off of joint friendly. Inhale, lift. I'm going to make mine a little bit bigger. Pubic bone into the mat. Now let's say this bothers your pubic bone. If you're going to do this again, have a towel underneath you. Or more, squish your mat. Keep looking at the floor. Again, you're not lifting with the neck muscle. You're lifting right at your scapula. I don't think I've been lifting my glutes. Take it down. Now I'm going to extend for a little bit more of a challenge. Use the triceps and shoulder blades to bring you back down, lift the glutes. For those that do Pilates regularly, swan dive. If you want a swan dive, go ahead. Make sure you stay out of that lower back. Shoulder blades, triceps, chest, glutes and hamstrings. Inhale, lift. And yes, I do talk this much during class. I love what I do. I love to educate. And down. You're going to give me one more. Lift. And if you want to do give me about 5 more of these. You're going to take your hands off. Keep your elbows tight. Lift. Take it down. The last 3, do on your own, or you can come with me. 2, 1. Good job. Pull the elbows back. Curl the toes round like a cat. Come back into child's pose for a well-earned stretch. Pressing your hands into the floor. Pull back, feel your spine and tailbone pull away to feel a stretch in your shoulder blades. Very nice. While you're holding there, pelvis. All of us women, the pelvis starts coming down. So that's why with Pilates, while you're giving another few seconds stress, give me about another 3 breathing cycles, tilt the pelvis. Tailbone is down to stretch out that lower back, shoulders over hips, to keep us from being like this or like this. Because this is what happens. We release the pelvis, we get lower back pain. Go ahead and roll on up through the spine while I readjust my shirt. What we're going to do now, come all fours. So feel free to come sideways with me, or if you want to look straight on, or if you're at that diagonal. This is what I tell all of my clients. This is what I see. My elbow and my shoulder blade are not in line. So what I do is I pull the shoulder blade back, lock it in. See how it's kind of rotating in the socket. Now my wrist is in line with my elbow and my shoulder joint. Pulling it back. Again, don't crowd your spine. Thank you, Lupe. Toes are in line with the knees, knees in line with the hip. And this is also good where you can look in your mirror. You're going to press away, pull the belly in. I got to remember what I'm doing. Classic series here. You're going to take your front leg, tap it back, bring it back in. Now imagine you have a wall right behind you or right beside you on that back leg. And this is what I tell my clients. This is what I'm taught in Booty Bar. Hip bone is down, wall. Your oblique and your glute are stabilizing before your shoulders. It all comes together like that. Focus on the abs to the extremities, which would be your legs and your arms. And you're bringing that knee in with the pelvis. You're not moving your spine. So this is what it would look like if somebody was dipping into their hip and bringing it back. My spine is moving and we don't want that. Reach. Power through that push-up muscle right at the bra line where your scapula touches your rib cage. Roughly, it might have a big gap. But right at that bra line, right at the heart. Now I'm going to add something. You don't have to move because I move. I move all over just for angles. Now I'm going to add an arm. So you're going to take that other arm and reach and bring it back. So that back arm reaches. Make sure I'm in line here. You don't have to do it. You can stay right here and focus on your oblique and glute because it should be burning by now. We're going to do one more. You're going to hold it out. Little lifts, lifts, lifts. So again, don't move. I'm just moving so you can see it. My hip bone is down. I'm not into that hip. I'm lifted. Shoulder in line with the knee. Wrist in line with the elbow. For 8, 7, inhale. I'm shaking. 4, 3, 2, bring it down with control with the abs. Armpit muscle, switch side. So you're not moving, you're just taking that back leg out and in. Out and in. Make your adjustments because you shifted. My shoulder is in line with my hip. Reaching away. Again, I'm just going to change so you can see me. Take the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Did you lose your belly? Did it go on vacation? That's what I say. Reach. A lot of times my clients make me laugh and we just kind of go with it. I'm not a traditional Pilates instructor. You're going to take that front hand. So option 1, you can actually bring that knee in, take that hand up, and then tap it back. Back hip bone is to that front knee. And I can feel that I'm in my elbow, so I got to roll my shoulder blade back. Always make adjustments. Always. I'm shaking. Again, you're using that oblique first, glute, and shoulder blades follow immediately. You can be right here. Give me a few more. Press away, push up. This is where I come to my clients and I actually touch their push-up muscle right at that bra line. Hold that leg out. Little pulses. Lift, lift. Elbow is soft, shoulder blades are back. Use this angry armpit muscle. That's what we say in Pilates, the balanced body. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back in with control with your chest, your belly, and your pelvis. Very nice. This is one of a client's favorites. We're actually going to do a couple of moves. So we're going to take it back, stretch. Lift back up. Child's pose, you're not moving those wrists where they were. Lift up. Now my wrists are in line with the shoulder blades because when you move them, you come back here and you're not in line. Lift up. Now we're going to do a plank, curl the toes, plank. Now I gotta wiggle my feet out. Drop the knees, take the tailbone back stretch. Inhale, lift. Curl the toes, lift. Drop the knees, uncurl the toes. So you're taking yourself straight forwards. If you've got some lines on your mat, follow the lines. Apple or lemon in between your chin. I have a client that loves to hear lemon, so I say that just in case she's watching. Take it back. Lift up with the shoulder blades, pull the belly up, pelvis lifts the knees with the quads, sending the heels back behind you. Lift. Up. Drop the knees with the pelvis, and we're going to hold it. Hold it up in that plank position. Let's say that's a bit much. Drop the knee. Uncurl the toes. Elbows are soft. Shoulder blade back. Pelvic tilt. Oh my goodness, there's so much to do. Breathe. 8. I'm shaking. 4. Inhale. 2, 1. Drop the knees. Child's pose and extend those arms out. Very nice. So again, shoulders over hips while you're stretching. You're breathing into it. Your nose is in line with your navel. Your chest is not completely arched. You're not round in the spine. So suggestion, make sure you look at yourself in the mirror. Everything's in line from your shoulders down to your hips and knees. All right, go ahead and sweep your feet forwards to me. I'm going to come to the side. I'm going to flip to this side now. You're going to roll all the way down. Keep your ball and your ring close. Come on down, pelvic tilt, just like we did earlier. Drive your belly towards your back. Inhale, take it on down. What you're going to do is you're going to bring one leg up with the pelvis, other leg up. I have to pelvic tilt to get there. Knees in line with the ankles so they're not here. Again, a great way to see a mirror. Knees in line with the hip sockets because they want to come back here. You lose the work in your pelvis. Hands are going to come behind the head. Squeeze your elbows towards your chest. When you feel your chest stabilize, it's helping your shoulders. Extend those toes. You're going to take the front leg out and bring it in. Head and shoulders are going to lift a little bit, or feel free to stay right here. Reach. Probably getting tired. I am too. Reach. Now elbows, squeeze. Shoulder blades are in. Towards the bra line, towards your heart. Reach and in. Out. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Now it's really up to you how you want to do this. You could come like this. Resist that knee. You can keep that ball if you want and resist the ball. One hand behind the head if you want. There's many options here. For those that do Pilates, we are not going to do crisscross today. Belly. My spine is not moving. My belly button's driven in. Find your breath. Belly button into the mat. Shoulder blades are back. Lowest rib cage is on the mat. A little faster. Reach, reach, reach. Where your wall meets your ceiling, maybe a little bit lower. Lift with the belly button, not the neck. I can feel my neck taking over. Inhale for 4, 3, 2. Feel free to stay here. Scissor if you want. Scissor, scissor. This was not a part of my plan, but I thought I'd do it. 8, 7, belly, pelvis. Hip bones are even. 2, 1, bring your knees to chest. Good job. Grab your ring or your ball. If you've got your ring, you're going to put that ring right about your calves. Squeeze. For those that do the ball, you're going to have smaller hip range. So if you've got nice hip opening, I'm going to go with the ring, pillow, or nothing at all. It's perfectly fine. You're going to go back into that. I think I'm going to die. Same thing. Hands the letter T. Shoulder blades are back. Give me a drum roll. Yes, I tell my people that. Knee in line with the hip. You're going to rotate that back rib cage. Lift off that hip. Take the knees towards me. Inhale. Small Lift with that back rib cage, that oblique. Keep that back shoulder blade down. Now take it away from me. Exhale. Lift, squeeze. Feel those inner thighs stabilize because they love to sleep. Drum roll, inhale. Again, this is not your hip flexors. It's your pelvis holding that ring, holding the legs. Hip bone lifts off. Bring it on up. Oh my goodness. It's not the neck. Your shoulder blades are down. They want to pop up. Keep them down. We're trying to open up the torso and stretch it for more stability and strength. Joseph Pilates said, you're as only old as your spine. Inner thighs lift. That means if you don't have a flexible spine, you're old. I love that. Inner thighs lift. This is a crowd favorite. It's one of mine. I use the ball all the time. I love this ball. Booty bar. You can buy them online. Again, taking that rib cage towards the 2 o'clock. Bring it up. 10 o'clock. I do use clock references. Are you dying yet? Drum roll. Pop up that hip, but use the rib cage. Open up. Shoulder blade is down. We're going to do one more. Take it to me. Inhale. Exhale. Lift with that back oblique. Belly holds it, and then take it up and over with that front oblique. Bring it in. Knees to chest. Good job, guys. Put that ring away. We are done with it. Bring your knees to chest. Lift one shoulder blade up, other shoulder blade up. Inhale. Use your belly button to lift you up. Woo! We all do it. Last move. I'm going to give you 3 options. So we're going to bring our left arm all the way down. Your ear is on your bicep. Your hand is in line with your head. Shoulders are stacked with the hips. Now, if you have lower back issues, you can take those toes slightly forward like a banana. That's really up to you, or they can be right in line. The point is your pelvis is not rocking back and forth. Maybe I should have wore a colored pants today instead of my Zaya. That's option 1, so you can do your leg lifts right here. Only come into your hip. Your front hand, your top hand is in line with your shoulder blade, and pull the shoulder blade back. And this is what I love about Pilates, is I come in and adjust even my regulars, because it's very easy to dip down and let your chest fall. Option 2, that pillow or that ball, right underneath the rib cage, and you're not into it, you're lifted, elbow in line with the shoulder. Up and down. There you go. Option 3, and this is where I'm going to stay just for purposes. Opening up your hip, your elbows bent, lift. You can bring your arm up if you're crazy. I tell my people they're weirdos, but I love them. Hand on the hip. Hip and chest to me. Let your head relax. Underneath oblique is lifted. Toe in line with the knee. Up and down. Up. For 2, you're going to give me some pulses. Lift right here. It's all right here. Glutes, oblique. It's very miscommon. It's the leg lift, and you have to lift high. I don't want high. I want controlled. Shoulder blade is back. Let that head hang. Nose in line with the navel. 8, 7, 6. Breathe. 4, 3. Hold it here. Circle it to me. Circle. Circle. Circle like you've got a plate right here around your hip socket. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend the knee if you're with me. Drop it down. If you're down, take that front hand. Come on up. Take that underneath leg. Stretch it over. Back leg just comes into a nice Z position. Lift up. Choose your flavor. Sweep around. Come down, shoulder blade back, toes slightly forward or in line. Or with that ball. Lift it up. And leg lift. So I'm going to do the modification here. Toe in line with the knee. Knee in line with the hip. My foot just cramped. You're lifted out of that shoulder. Shoulder blade down. So that neck nudge doesn't take over. It wants to. It's a bigger and stronger muscle, that's all. Up. Oblique, right here. Lift. And I've got a mic right here, so I can feel it pressing down. Your oblique lifts the leg, and then your outer thigh helps it. There you go. Pulse it out. Lift. Pull the belly in. Your hips are not rocked back. Your chest is lifted towards me. Your hip bones are towards me, so give it a touch. 4, 3, 2, hold it here. Circle forward. Circle. Feel that glute. Inhale. Exhale. Lift. Small plate. 4. Lift up. 3. I'm gesturing again. Last one. Beautiful, guys. Bend the knees. If you're laying down, move that ball. Go ahead, take that hand. If you came where I was earlier, push on up. With that oblique, stretch up and over. Stretching that underneath oblique. Talking about the underneath oblique, it's lifted away. I said that really in brief. So if you can ever come to North Little Rock for my 11:15 Tuesday class, that is where I am. Let's go ahead and stretch it out. I'm going to do some of my clients' favorite stretches. Rock back and forth on those sitting bones. Feet are together, heels are together, and it's okay if you're here. And if you need some blocks or some pillows, perfectly fine. Pelvic tilt, you're just going to take it forwards, move your stuff out of the way. Reach forwards, and there goes the cramp in my foot. Sometimes it happens. Take it forward, stretch. That's crazy. I'm a pointer too. I think it's because I flex my foot a lot today, and I normally don't do that. So that's a good thing for me to kind of strengthen my feet. Roll up. You're going to open up nice and wide. Flex the feet. It's still cramping. Pelvic tilt. Sitting bones are down. Squeeze your booty together. Inner thighs are going to open, and you're going to take that pillow, maybe the ball. I know I said I'm done with it. I say things. I'm like, whoop. Then something comes into my mind. Reach round. I'm going to come to the side. And if you don't have a ball, that's perfectly fine. Let the pelvis tilt, stretch that spine, feel the inner thigh and groin stretch, and bring it back up. I'm going to start pointing my feet now. Reach. Round. You're pressing into the ball if you have it. And if you don't, you're just reaching and sliding. Hear that squeak? Reach. Press on that mat. Very good. You're going to give me one more. Hold a flat back or hold a round back, whatever makes it feel good in that lower back to tilt the pelvis. Really stretch it out because, again, it likes to take over. Instead of letting the pelvis work, the pelvis drops, the lower back takes all the brunt. Roll up. Sweep your feet towards me, and then you're going to sweep your feet into down dog. Curl the toes, press away, lift with the belly, the knees and pelvis follow. Take your spine up. You're going to walk your feet front and back, front and back. Press away, you're not in the wrist. Take your chest to your thighs for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now you're going to press both heels down as much as you can. And it's okay if they're up here. It's all about flexibility. Walk your feet to your hands. And if you have to walk and then walk perfectly fine with your hands, bend the knees. Roll up. Got a couple more stretches. Open up your feet hip width apart. You can be on or off the mat. I'm going to come off the mat because that's just what I like to do. Toes to the corner. You're going to go into your plie. Tip over. Shoulder blade back. Pelvic tilt. So again, you're in that pelvic tilt not to let the booty and tailbone go back. Your tailbone goes to where the wall meets the floor. And you're going to hold it here and press your hands and open up that pelvis. Pelvic tilt. Drive that belly in. You're going to take it down or stay right there and lift up those hamstrings. Toes in line with the hips and knees so you're not back, leaning back, hyperextending those knees. Use the belly to hold. Knees are soft. Shoulder blade is back, and I'm going to turn back to you. You're going to walk over to the right, stretch out from the rib down to the hip. Keep your hip bones down to the floor. You're not dropping. See how I drop my hip? Don't drop the hip. Use that left oblique, bring it back center. Keep that hamstring stretch. Take it over to the other side using that right oblique. Again, don't drop the hip. Bring it back center. We're going to take a side lunge to your right. Now you drop the hip. Shoulder blade is back. Knee in line with the ankle. No pressure in the knee. Press the knee back to the pinky toe to engage the glute. Bring it back center. Take it over to your left. Opening up that hip socket. Pull the belly in. Still in that pelvic tilt. Bring it back center. You're going to walk the feet in, rotating in the hip socket. Toe in line with the knees. You're going to come into parallel feet or into that nice little V position underneath your hips. And one of my clients' favorites, you're going to come up into your flat back, pelvic tilt. Let me get centered a little bit more. Bend the knees. You're going to take the arms back, opening up that shoulder joint, not crowding the neck. Reach the crown of the head away from your tailbone. Inhale, swing, swing. And yes, again, a client favorite. Stretch that spine a little faster. Up and back. Lift. For 4, 3, 2, lift all the way up. Lift all the way up. Stretch, arch behind, dive into your pool. We're going to do that one more time and finish off. Bend the knees, pelvic tilt, roll all the way up, halfway, and then take it back. Lift all the way up, lift, spine stretch, ab stretch, reach to the crown of head, dive over. Bend the knees. I'm going to stay at this angle, pelvic tilt, shoulder blades are back. It's a control roll through the abs. Somebody just punched you in the gut, or think about a fishing reel. Roll on up, one vertebrae at a time as your vertebrae stretches and comes together. Inhale, lift. Hydrate, eat something healthy, stretch a little bit more tonight. That's what I tell all of my clients. Thank you for joining me today for my first time on YouTube. Crazy, isn't it? Thanks, everybody. My name is Wendy Darling Good from North Little Rock Athletic Club, where I am a certified booty bar instructor, also a trained level 3 mat Pilates instructor with balanced body. And my class for Pilates is at 11:15 on Tuesdays. Thanks, guys. It's been fun.